It's Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, on the road. One of the hardest things that you are going to experience in a relationship is standards. And my advice to you would be to give yourself time if you meet someone. Don't rush into anything, because people have double standards after the honeymoon stage, after the love bombing stage. They're gonna go into the situation where they go back to their default. What will happen is when you first meet someone, they're going to mirror you. They're going to say what you want, they think you want them to hear, or they're going to say what they think you want to hear. They're going to mirror you and project that they're of the same mind as you. I know, because I've done this myself. You just want to get things right. You want to get things rolling with this person. And when that wears off, which it will once they think you're established and all this sort of thing, that's going to bring out the double standards. What I mean by that is it's going to show what they really are about, and it may not be what you think. I've met people that have aligned themselves with what I liked at the start, and then as it's worn on, they've gone backwards, they've got darker. The ways of the wicked lead to darkness, the Bible says. So there was something wicked going on somewhere, whether they wanted to realise it or not. And the ways of the wicked, they do not know their darkness, the Bible says as well. They don't know that they're being dark. They've got no comprehension that they're ruining micro-incrementally their relationship. And they probably don't care. A lot of these people are psychologically enmeshed in a security way with people and things, so that they're really not bothered what happens to them one way or another. If they wear you out and that becomes obvious and they can see that you're starting to fade, that will lead to them going into maybe an immediate withdrawal or a gradual withdrawal from the relationship. There's some very difficult people out there. You'd be surprised once you get past the initial love bombing stage of what they can do and what they will do. And this is what we're trying to train people to realise. We're all guilty of it. Not to rush into things, because when you rush into things, that's when things come undone, and they will come undone over and over and over again. We've watched things come undone that didn't need to, because people rushed in and they shouldn't have. I also think that we need to understand that people and life does change. It can be harmoniously, or it can be out of tune, and that's not the end of the world if it's out of tune, but it's definitely going to cause stress. One of the things that I learned and was taught as a young bloke was, if somebody's not playing a part that they should in the relationship, probably the best thing for you to do is get out of the relationship, because that's not going to change. And what I find interesting, really, really interesting, is when people don't bring resolve and they know what the resolve needs to be. Even if somebody's negotiated with them and gone, right, I'll cut you 50-50, or we might be able to do this or work that, And they just keep pushing. They just keep pushing the boundaries, pushing the elements. No. You've got to call it. You've got to call it for what it is and get out. And that's all there is to it. Otherwise, you're just going to waste your time, your life. And this is the thing. People will, if you allow them to, they will waste your life. They will. Without any hesitation whatsoever. And if you're just a means of supply for somebody, you might have met a covert narcissist, and they're just using you as a means of supply. They got no intention of building a life with you or trying to build anything substantial to you, because they're too enmeshed in their sinful nature and other people. Man, you have really got to have some discernment. Big discernment, because it is going to turn around to bite you. It's just how it works. It is going to turn around to waste your time, push your patience, wear your tolerance, and break you down. It's just what it does. And it does this by nature, by way of our sinful nature. And this happens all the time, without question, all the time. And it's sad. And it's real. And it happens all the time. It's the modern day problem. And people will waste your time because they just will not build a substantial relationship. They just won't. They refuse to. Well, I could go on and on for hours, but I won't. What's the answer to all this? The answer to all this is not to harm yourself or anybody else. That's what the answer to all this is. And if you are, you need to stop and reflect and ask yourself, why, how, what's the reason for this, and how can I change it? And change it. This is Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia.